Hey y'all. Okay, it's been forever since I did my last live recording, and I'm going to do it now. And I'm really sorry that it took forever. I've been battling a sinus infection. I'm still not better, but I'm mostly better, and I think my voice sounds alright, so I'm going to do this. And this one is called Toy Story Deleted Scene, and this one's a request pasta. A while back, I was on holiday in Alabama. I was at this gas station store, just getting some more food, drinks, and supplies for the drive to the hotel. I noticed there was a box with videos in it. The guy at the cash register explained to me that these videos were found outside the store, and that I could take the entire box for free. Seeing as they were all labeled, and that the man was being friendly, I picked up the cardboard box and paid for my snacks. When I arrived at the hotel, I noticed they had a VHS player. I looked through the videos and was astonished at what I found. They were various tapes of different Pixar films. It kind of creeped me out though, because about 5 of the tapes had a stamp on them that said, "Declined. Please destroy." Signed JL. JL. That must be John Lasseter. And I was in possession of discarded property of Pixar. I put on the first tape, which was a collection of old Pixar shorts. I haven't seen all of the shorts, so I couldn't tell if they were all legit or not. But the odd thing about the tape was, whenever the one short transitioned into another, it was just static. After about 5 shorts, I could start to see something in the static. But before I could clearly see what it was, the tape ended. Go figure. I put on the second tape, which had a more familiar name. It was labeled Toy Story Animation Test 01. I was excited at watching the evolution of what was, at the time, my favorite Disney movie. All was about to change with one button on the remote called play. It appeared that it was actually a full movie rather than a few tests. The movie began with a white title card that read, "A Toy's Story, copyright 1992, Pixar Productions." It then cut to what looked like a commercial advertising of a Woody doll. It zoomed out to reveal a boy, I'm assuming it was Andy, watching the TV in the living room. The living room looked entirely different, and so did the boy. He had freckles, orange hair. He didn't look or sound like Andy at all. Beside that, his name was Max. I assumed that this would just be an early version of Andy, and that the character had not yet been developed. "Come on, Woody, let's go to school," said Max as he bolted out the door. Max kept talking to Woody about how he was going to show Woody for show and tell. Suddenly, a shadow fell upon him. It was at this point when I discovered about 10 sheets of paper in the box. I was shocked to realize that this was the script of this version of Toy Story. The script that read in the scene. Max is tormented and attacked by the bully Sid. I found this interesting as Sid and Andy, aka Max, had never met in the finished movie. Much to my surprise, Sid was gigantic. He looked nothing like the 1995 version of Sid. And he was Hulk-sized. He began to punch Max in the face and put his hands around Max's neck. And the sky turned darker, and there were sounds of people screaming and shouting, "No!" It was like a nightmare. It just kept going on. You could also hear Max crying for his mom. Eventually, there was an ambulance. But in the background, you could see fire. And you could see a bunch of gigantic horses chasing people. The doctors were carrying Max's small body on the stretcher. The nightmare moved onto a gravesite where it was a cloudy day and there was a church bell ringing. There were gravestones. Remember, all of this was computer animated. A faint organ could be heard. And the scary part is that there were pages missing from the script that were lying in my bed seconds ago. It cut to static and then resumed an early version of the scene where Woody is calling a meeting for all the toys about Max's birthday party. It was all in Russian, and the sky was dark outside. None of this movie made any sense, and nothing fit together. It cut back to static, where it showed Max getting molested by two very big men in a tool shed. I felt like throwing up when I saw it. And I kept seeing Sid's creepy face fading in and out. Finally, one of the men stopped and bellowed, "You're too old for toys." I looked back at the script to find some information on early Toy Story. The cast sheet was missing of the characters. It had characters that were either deleted from the film or appeared in the sequels. For example, the Prospector and Bullseye were in the cast list. No sign of Jessie, though. It mentioned other characters, like Scooter the Walrus, Mr. Wiggly, Scar Bear, and a character called Dino Ray, which I presume was an early version of Rex. Near the top of this list was the scariest name of all. It read Death. I looked back at the TV, and it was now browsing through a dark Al's Toy Barn. The store was closed, and the camera was moving back and forth on all the aisles. Some of the toys didn't even exist yet, such as the Tickle Me Elmo. There's a line of toys called Satan and Friends, and a sale for Toy Story 3 on Blu-ray. I froze in shock at the last one. Blu-ray wasn't even invented yet. Nor was Toy Story 3 in development. Then cut to Al's Toy Barn. The commercial that appeared in the final film, except Buzz Lightyear, the Buzz Lightyear toy was called Lunar Lenny. And he was a green alien astronaut. It zoomed to Woody, who was complaining about Lunar Lenny. And then, for some reason, it cut back to the scary scene where Sid is ripping Max's stomach open by using Woody and his foot. Sid then stops and looks towards the camera. He begins to walk over until his face is covering the entire screen. And then he just smiled. Suddenly, the TV caught fire. And it caught the whole hotel on fire. And we all ran out. I didn't grab the tapes or anything. So, I guess they all got melted and got burned. I tried to reach Pixar, but all the calls were computer automated and, you know, they asked you stupid questions. Even though I still have nightmares about the early Toy Story, I really wish I could have watched the other tapes. Toy Story, or any computer animated movie at that, it's never been the same for me.